Hey everybody, it's Brooke with the Buttered Home and welcome to my messy kitchen. It's summertime and you know what that means? I have way too many tomatoes. So today we're going to bake up a delicious southern casserole that everybody will love in the summer, and it's an easy way to get rid of that plethora of tomatoes that you have. Today we're going to be making our cheesy baked tomato casserole, so stay with us. So over medium heat, I have 1 tablespoon of avocado oil heating up. And I have 1 sweet onion that I have already sliced that is ready to go in there. As soon as that oil gets hot, then we're going to put it in. We're going to let it cook just to soften and brown just a little bit for maybe 5 to 10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and add that sliced onion in. And we don't need any seasoning whatsoever for this onion because we're going to add everything for that directly to the casserole. So I have about 6 cups of tomatoes that I have chopped, skins on, everything. I just cut that woody core out and just by cutting that lid off of it. So I just like to rough chop them. They don't have to be perfect or pretty. It doesn't matter because they're going to all cook down really nice. And I've got a large bowl over here that I'm just finishing up and going to add them to. And I just have so many tomatoes, I just cannot give them all away. So this is a nice way to have them. And I know 6 cups sounds like a lot. That's probably about 6 to 8 medium tomatoes. Now we like a little spice with our baked tomato casserole. So I'm using this wicked pickled okra. And look, I spilled it everywhere. That is why I call my kitchen a messy kitchen, because I'm trying to just show you what I'm using with this hot pickled okra. And if you wanted to, you could use like a jalapeno in place of this, or just a regular sweet bell pepper if you don't want any heat at all. That is just fine. All right, I'm just going to continue to move my onions around just a bit. And this was like 1 whole sweet onion. All right, and we want about 1/4 of a cup of this chopped pickled okra. So I'm going to start with probably just about 4 or 5 good sized stems of it. And then we can get more if we need to. But I'm just going to give it a rough chop through, just to about the same size pieces as my tomatoes, and pop that right in that big bowl with my tomato stems and all, because it's pickled, it's fine. And now that's kind of hot, so I want to treat that just like a cayenne pepper or a jalapeno, and I'm going to wash my hands. All right, so now we're going to put together just a couple more things while our onions continue to cook. In the meantime, I'm just going to mix my tomatoes and hot pickled okra up, just to get it all mixed in, and set that to the side. So now to like a medium-sized bowl, I'm going to add in a whole cup of unsweetened plain yogurt. You can use sour cream here if you didn't want to use yogurt. And then about 2 tablespoons of good mayonnaise. And I'm just going to get those 2 things kind of mixed together. So you got a healthy fat, and not that mayonnaise is not a healthy fat, but it is a little greasy, and we want to just keep this creamy but light. So in the place of so much mayonnaise, we tend to use a lot of this plain unsweetened Greek yogurt or sour cream, and then just supplement it with enough mayonnaise to give it the taste that you're looking for. So you can make it a little more protein filled by using that and cut out some of that heavy fat from the mayonnaise. All right, my onions just need a couple more minutes, so I'm going to keep an eye on them because what we're looking for is that nice caramel color, just enough of that. Okay, now to our yogurt and mayonnaise mix, we are going to add in a half a cup of grated Parmesan cheese and a whole cup of grated sharp cheddar. And get those mixed in. That looks good already, don't it? Let me get it where you can see it. That might help. All right, and now we want to just add just a little special something to that. So I have some fresh basil here that I'm just going to pick off the stems. We just want just a couple of big happy tablespoons of that, maybe like a quarter of a cup. And if you use dried basil, you want to use a lot less because it is it's far stronger than fresh. So I like just rolling it up into a little roll like that, and then I just take my knife and just run through it. Just a nice little chiffonade, and then you can come back and just kind of chop it. And put that in directly into our cheeses and mayonnaise and yogurt mixture. Wipe my spatula off. Give my hand a rinse. I got some dishwater back here, so I can just stick my old hand in there and give it a nice rinse. All right, so our onions are perfect. I'm going to turn them off and remove them from the heat. I'm going to hit our tomatoes with just a little bit of freshly cracked pepper, probably about a quarter of a teaspoon. You can actually add cayenne here if you wanted a little more kick, but plain black pepper will work just fine. So we got about a quarter of a teaspoon in there. Give it a toss. But now that spicy okra, if you're using it, that's really all you need. Okay, so we got several little parts. I got a 9 by 13 baking dish that I'm just gonna lightly spray with some avocado oil. And then I'm going to take about a cup of panko breadcrumbs and just scatter that out along the bottom of the casserole dish. Nice, huh? Now I'm going to set that to the side, and I probably should have done this earlier, so you don't have to do this in this exact order. But I'm going to take our cheese mixture and add it directly in with our tomatoes and our hot okra, because it's kind of like a dressing. And then we're just going to toss that in. All right, so we've got our pan here with our 1 cup of panko breadcrumbs, and I'm going to take half of this tomato mixture and put it right in. Just half. Kind of just spread it out. It's already pretty. Already really pretty. And then set the other half to the side. Then I'm going to take those onions that we just browned and put them directly over the top. And you can cook those a little more, a little less. I just like getting that slight caramelization on them because it just adds a lot. Now, if you don't like onions, there are other things you can use here. You can do cabbage or leeks or even celery that's been browned like this, and it's really, really just as good. But tomatoes and onions to me just kind of go together, so it's kind of a no-brainer. All right, and so now we're going to take the other half of our tomato mixture and kind of spoon it over the top. Now we're going to take the other half, or the other cup of our panko breadcrumbs, and just sprinkle that right over the top. It's more or less kind of just to hold things together. It's really pretty though, and it is really a nice little mixture. Okay, I have my oven preheated to 375 degrees. We're gonna pop this in and bake it anywhere from 45 to 55 minutes, just till it's heated all the way through, all nice. That cheese is melted and the top is slightly brown. Then we're gonna allow it to cool for about 10 minutes before we serve it up and show you how good it is, so stay with us. Hey everybody, we are back. We finished about a 50-minute cook time on this delicious baked tomato casserole. It is gorgeous. Let's take a look at it. It's browned up all nice and neat, and I have already scooped some out so that it could cool. And you see it stays together really nice and pretty. So let's give it a taste. Hopefully it's not too terribly hot. And it's nice and cheesy. And I got a little bit of everything in that bite, so let's see. Almost like a tomato pie, but different. Just a little spicy, not too hot. Oh, and I'll tell you what, that pickled okra in there, that's a thing of beauty. It adds a little spiciness, but not too much. There are all kinds of substitutions that you can make for this casserole. This is a good one to cook and freeze, and it'll stay good in the freezer for about a month. Just bring it to room temperature and heat it up in a warm oven. It's fantastic. This is a good food gift. Also, it's the perfect way to use up all those tomatoes, right? This recipe can be found at thebutteredhome.com. Just like all of our other recipes, it's free to you with a nice free printable recipe button on each recipe. If you want all of our videos in one convenient place, head over to YouTube, search for The Buttered Home, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ding the bell so that you can be notified when we drop new videos like this one. Also, make sure you're following us on all of our social channels. We have a really good time and we want you present wherever we are. Now, this is one of those recipes that I can't wait to share with all the people that I love, so I've got to get to it while it's still warm. From all of us here at The Buttered Home to your home, we sure love y'all. Bye.